be happy. Why not just be happy? Don't stop.
Was our special guest today, and a message to all you youth out there. Individually, you are each born to be great. Your condition will increase by your mission. Robert VALVERDE is on our show today and explaining to you, well, the question we always have, who am I? Yes, and he has some he's going to look into the camera and let you know and speak to you personally about some very important things you're interested in. And maybe you can have it all figured out. But before then, sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Cut off everything and focus very clearly. Here we are, Robert VALVERDE. Yes, Robert, can you look in the camera?
So, yeah, let me continue and speak to I call them my treasures, the young people actually in the world, not just the United States, North America, South America, but the entire world. Because I say all of our incredibly young people are struggling to discover who they are. And they operate in the domain of doing. And as Einstein says, that's a piece of insanity.
Yes.
Doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different results. So I want to emphasize in every aspect of how you identify yourself, that's not who you are. That is about you, and simply causes you to not focus on your true divine essence.
Interesting. So you mean divinity being divine? Look into the camera and answer this. This is very important. Divine. People think of church. They think of religion. It's what divine has to do with the religion. Is that the same exact thing?
No, actually, let me take the opportunity to make a distinction between religion and spirituality. Spirituality is an open process of growing closer to God. Religion is a closed society with blind belief. And what I mean by blind belief is that I'm Catholic. If you're not Catholic, you're out of here. You're wrong. And in the history of church, history of religion for the last 3,000 years, you'll notice that it has produced wars, cruelty, and manipulation of human beings. It has not taken them to spirituality, that is, to raise their level of consciousness so they can be much more productive for themselves. So religion and spirituality are very, very different aspects of who we are and what we talk about. And they're greatly misused. They're interchanged like they're the same, and they're not.
Interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Robert VALVERDE here. He's going to tell you about his spiritual renaissance and the purpose of clarity in his life. He's going to show you, and at this time, how and why, and what's important of being who you are. So I want you to sit back and relax and enjoy yourself. We're going to give you Robert VALVERDE here once again, clarity and purpose.
So here I am, I'm standing next to a poster that I want you to be able to see in order to continue your journey. And I need to say a few more things about your divine essence. And this may, how shall I say, blow your mind. Your soul is actually a part of the Creator's soul. Can you get that? Now, if you've read the Bible at all, you know that human beings were made in the image and likeness of God. Well, does that mean I look like God? I'm as tall as God? I weigh as much as God? No, that's almost silly to say that. So what that means really is that we have part of God's soul. And now here's another piece for you. You're going to love this. If this is true, which is my experience, it is, we are all brothers and sisters. We all have a part of God's soul as our soul. So that when we talk about who we are, We want to get down to that divine entity that I am and live from that. So let me give you an example. I had it on the show before, but let me give you an example again so you remember. A gentleman goes into a store, buys a cup, wraps it up, takes it home. It's a gift for his wife. She opens it up and it's got a chip. So this is the story about a chipped cup. So the gentleman goes back to the store. Now he's going to either act out of his divinity, out of his being, out of his consciousness, out of his spirituality, or he's going to react out of his ego. And I'm going to cover a little bit more of that in a moment. So he goes back to the store, and this is a gentleman who has a sense of who he is. So he goes to the manager of the store and say, hey, I just bought this cup, and it's got a chip. Is there anything we can do about that? So the owner of the store said, oh, certainly, Robert. Let me get you a really nice cup here, and we'll wrap it up in a special way for you. So you don't need to be disappointed again. So they show him the new cup. Yeah, great. Okay, wrap it up. And, or I should say, if you're run by your ego, what are you going to say? You're going to walk into the store sweating, upset, because the universe has tilted in the wrong direction because you got a chipped cup and you, by God, were deceived. So you go to there and say, how dare you sell me a chipped cup? Don't you know who I am? I come in here all the time. And you sell me a chipped cup? I'm not coming in here anymore. You can keep your chipped cup. I'm out of here. So you're not your ego. You're not the voice in your head. Even though the voice in your head and your ego sorely wants you to think that you are the ego. Now I'm going to tell you something else you're not going to want to believe. 99% of human beings are in the grip of their egos, and they live out of their egos. That has to be right, loves arguments, wants to keep you in the future or in the past, and so specifically to keep you away from your divine essence. That is the soul that you have as part of God's soul. Now I'm standing up here for one specific reason. I'm not starting a club. I'm not starting a spiritual movement. I'm not beginning a new religion. What I am doing is providing you an opportunity to participate in what is already happening in the world. We already have a spiritual renaissance. We have this wonderful book that I call a textbook for life from Eckhart Tolle, Awakening to Your True Purpose. I say that if you are committed, if anything I've said so far today resonates with you, I strongly urge that you study this book, and as you become more and more conscious, you might want to consider becoming a giver of light energy so that you can pass your consciousness on to others who are not studying or reading the Eckhart Tolle book. So we're going to leave this up here so you can see it. Give me a call, go on my email, and if you want me to speak to any group, to your high school class or city college class, please call me and we'll set up a date. So we're going to leave this up here for the rest of the show as I go into more and greater detail about who are you?
And Robert,
who am I?
how can they contact you?
Well, they can call me here on my phone. Okay, 415-497-3650. Or you can go to my new email. This email is set up specifically for you young people to send me an email with questions, comments, and whatever, so that I can assist you in moving forward. And remember, I'm simply creating an opening for you. speaking in a way that perhaps you have not heard spoken before, spoken by somebody who loves you very much and cares for you in your divine being, not in just what you do and whatever cultural expectations people have of you as a young person.
You know, Robert Valverde, he's got this very interesting thing for young people out there today and in their lives trying to figure out who they are in this world of confusion. So clarity and purpose has a lot to do with being happy. So give us a call at 415-573-5549 and come on to the Happy Show and tell her what it means to be on time. Also, give Robert Valverde a call. It's 415-597-3650. Got it? Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, without any further ado, sit back and relax. Here we are. Robert Valverde.
Be happy. Why not? Just be happy. Don't stop.
Sit back and relax. Here we are. Robert Valverde. Clarity and purpose. Who am I? Robert. Yes.
Okay, so let me just get into the reason I'm talking to you about human
Yes.
is because that's a whole category of who you are not.
Interesting.
So Happy cannot tell you who you are. We can tell you about yourself.
Yes.
We can look at your birth certificate and then say, oh, this is who you are. And if you have a particular gift of brilliance, oh, that's so-and-so. He's brilliant or she's brilliant. But that's not who you are. Those are aspects of your spiritual journey for this lifetime, and you'll have many more lifetimes.
You know, Robert, you gave a couple suggestions there on the spiritual renaissance for youth. And we're looking for change. They're looking for change. And you gave a couple examples. It was a textbook that they could look up. I think it was something like The New Earth or something like that. Can you elaborate on that?
Yeah, let me just give you my own background. I've been studying the New Earth, awakening to your life's purpose. And I have found that in all aspects of my experience, I'm 80 years old, that this gives me, I would say, the nuts and bolts of how to live in my divinity, not to live in my ego. It gives me an understanding of the fiction of future and the fiction of past. And that's where our ego wants us to be. Now, let me try this with you. Okay, so stick with me for a minute here. So close your eyes for a minute and sit where you are. And as soon as you hear a voice in your head, raise your hand. You're not that voice. Isn't that a kicker? You're not that voice. That's the voice of the ego that wants to run your life, to have things be good and bad. Oh, and the ego loves to be right. Oh my goodness, it will argue to the death to be right about peas and carrots, silly things. And it will chatter in your head forever. Now, again, I hope you're getting the fact that I'm telling you who you are not, because I know who you are not. You get to discover who you are. You can live as getting up in the morning, for example. Well, who am I going to be today? Not what am I going to do, but who am I going to be? And you will find, if what I'm saying resonates with you and you're willing to go and to study the textbook for life, Eckhart Tolle's book, you will discover that you have a tremendous power to speak from your divinity, speak from your goodness and the treasures that you are.
Robert, now, if they wanted to, some people read, and of course you have the internet, you have the cell phones and all that. What about just going to a place and sit down and try to they want to spiritually train themselves? A training center, is there any training center that they can develop their spirit?
Well, we do have We call them centers for spiritual development. And let me just re-qualify here. So I have the textbook available for those of you who may not be so inclined to be, well, I'll just say it, God-centered. So I strongly urge that you honor yourself and you study the Eckhart Tolle book. Now, if you have a sense that you are seeking God, then I would recommend that you take the primary course and become a giver of light. And that way you can increase your consciousness. And for myself, I'm a giver of light, and I've studied Eckhart Tolle's book for 3 years. I have it on Audible. It's available on Amazon, on the Audible. So I listen to it while I'm taking a walk or driving wherever I'm going. So that is an excellent way to raise your level of consciousness. And for me, my experience is consciousness equals spirituality.
Wow. Robert, that is so intense and simple and positive.
Yes.
Positive
It is.
indeed,
It's all
yeah.
too much fun, you know.
Yeah.
You don't want to get too serious
Oh
about
no,
this.
no, not at
You know
all,
what I
indeed.
mean?
You've been on my show before. You're a writer, and you screenplays and movies. There was the necklace.
That's my novel.
And it's going to turn into a screenplay too.
Well, I already wrote part of it as a screenplay, but
Interesting.
I need to. I kind of interrupted myself with this particular commitment.
Well, the youth is
So-
very important, of course.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
yes,
and
yes.
so, but what I'm saying, if I don't deliver this,
Of course.
then I may have failed myself because my voice is not out there. As you notice, I'm saying things. I hope I am saying things you've never heard before, you young people out there. That you have an incredible opportunity to take your life and live your life and not have to fight the darkness. You will get to bring light to the darkness. Let the Democrats and the Republicans fight in the darkness and create more darkness. But you have an opportunity to discover who you are and live out of the light and bring the light to the darkness and bring light to everyone around you. Isn't that exciting?
Wow, that's very exciting to me, even that's so. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at the Happy Show. We only have a couple of minutes left. But you want to contact Robert Valverde. He has a lot of answers in this very confusing world out there. And he's dealing with the spiritual renaissance. This is very important to change the world, to put it back on track. But you, as young people, yes, you're the ones. So you have to be conscious of what and who am I, basically. So Robert Valverde has a lot of things to do with purpose. Give him a call at 415-497-3650. Is that right, Robert?
You got it.
Yes. And before he goes, of course, we're going to ask him this very important question. All that he's talking about the spiritual renaissance, what does it mean to be happy? And what happiness has to do with the spiritual renaissance? So I want you to sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. And ladies and gentlemen, here we are, Robert Valverde.
So happiness is a really, how shall I say, a misleading concept. I think it was good 40 years ago, 50 years ago. But right now, it's too elusive because we look to win the lottery. Oh, then I'll be happy. Oh, if I just meet this right person and we get married, oh, then I'll be happy. So the ego has us in the future. Oh, yes, happiness is in the future. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, I hope I meet that person. Dead end. Dead end. So I say, if I want to use the word happiness,
Yes.
is the joy of being my divinity and living out of my divinity. Then being happy or unhappy is not a question. It's not a question. Yes, I have ups and downs, but I don't look to this ups to be happy and this one to be down because that one doesn't look good, so that's bad and wrong. But this over here is pretty good, you know. I win the lottery, yeah, that's pretty good, you know. Can buy my grandmother a house.
So happiness is a decision to be.
Yeah, I think it's more than that, actually.
Yeah.
I think it's just, for me, it's not a question.
Yes.
If I live out of my divinity, I don't look to be happy. I have, of course, my anxieties. I have my feelings of anger. I have my feelings of depression. I have my feelings of hate, just like every other human being. But I'm not my feelings either. I just have them. You know, like lemons on a tree.
Yes.
They don't mean anything. I just have feelings because I am a magnificent, just as you are, a magnificent divine being with God's soul, part of God's soul. So my expectation and my intention is for you to notice who you are not, so that you have a free and open field to wake up in the morning and say, well, who am I? Who am I going to be today? And be content and happy. Don't make it a problem that, oh, I don't know who I am, because I don't know who I am. I promise you, every day I'm creating living out of my divinity, not worried about being happy or unhappy. So don't be disturbed or upset that you don't know right away, oh, this is who I am. No, that'll be just a whole nother ego's game, getting you to think, well, if I do this and I do that, well, that's who I am. No, that doesn't work. Go to your divinity. Study this book. Give me a call if you want to look at being a light giver to raise your consciousness and your spirituality along with the textbook for life.
Fantastic. Robert, we got a 1.5 minute left. Can you give me a website that they can contact? A website perhaps? Because
the website, yes, we have right here. www.tsukyomahikari.
Yes.
Now, this website will give you a list of centers near you. So if you're in Minnesota, look up a center in Minnesota or Florida or New York or wherever in the United States and Canada.
You mean to tell me that if you want clarity and purpose, you can look up these centers anywhere and
yeah, and go attend it. And the thing is, I want to tell you now, because I'm not interested in telling you what to do.
Yes.
I'm simply laying out a pattern and a possibility. So try it out. Try it out. That's all. And then you will know in your divinity whether that resonates with you. So give yourself this openness, this possibility of trying something new.
Wow. Robert, that's it. I got to quit. I got to go.
Oh, you gotta go.
That's
all,
y'all.
Bad news. I just got started.
Getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, Robert VALVERDE here has a very good information for you guys out here when the world is full of static and shadow. Yes, Robert VALVERDE. Remember that name. He has the answer for you to have the answer to what you need. Yes. So sit back and relax and enjoy yourself. Tune in to the Happy Show and give us a call at 415-573-5549. That's 415-573-5549. And before we go, I have to have my guests to let them know how I appreciate them. So, Robert, thank you so much again.
Oh, you bet. Thank you for allowing me to be on the show.
This has been an honor once again. And, I want you to come on again and again, like in series. So, because people need to be positively led step by step, especially the young people today.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So, thank you very much. I appreciate you. Any other advice you want to give to young people?
Yeah, so my next show,
yes,
I'm going to emphasize the ascent of the divine feminine, what the essence of that is, and how it connects to the spiritual renaissance. The spiritual renaissance has already begun. The level of consciousness has already begun, and as well as the ascent of the divine feminine. Yeah. It's all started. Just join in. That's my invitation.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. I got to quit. I got to go. That's all, y'all. Young people, we need you in this world of a steeple to give your positive energy for everywhere that you go. Not for what you do, but what you can be to society. Thank you. And just be happy. Why not? See ya.
Be happy. Why not? Just be happy. Don't stop.